In a survey of 80 athletes, 45 said that they play basketball, capital B, 40 play football, that's capital F, and 27 play neither game. Copy and complete the Venn diagram below using the above information. Now, they said that 27 play neither game, so 27 of these athletes play neither basketball or football, so that means that 27 is going to be on the outside. So that's what we have, 27 is on the outside. And so what we need to figure out is we need to figure out what is, what goes on in these spaces. And so what do we know? Well, we can take this group of athletes and we can divide it into two categories. One would be the number of people who play neither basketball or football, and that would be 27. So that's one group. So these group of people, they do not play basketball, or and neither do they play football. So that's 27 people would fall into that category. Now the next category of people among these 80 athletes, so we know 27 of them they don't play neither football nor basketball. We know 27 of them. That's one group. Then you have another group whereby which consists of only you have another section. I may say you get divided into two sections. This other section, they play at least one game. They play at least one. They play either either basketball only or football only or both. All right. So you have two categories. One, they don't play none of the two, right? And then the other one plays at least one of these two games, right? And so that is the amount that we need to figure out. We know 27 plays neither, but what is the number of athletes that play at least one of these two games, that play basketball only, football only, or both, right? And that number would just be the difference between 80 and 27. So 80 minus 27 is going to be 53. Okay, so 53 of these athletes play at least one of the two, of the two games, right? 53. So 53 plays at least one of the two games, and 27 plays neither. So we have two categories, right? Which makes up the 80 athletes. Now, what is the number of athletes that play basketball or football? Now it says that 45 play basketball and 40 play football. So it's going to be 45 plus 40, which is going to be 85. Now 85 certainly exceeds 80 athletes. So what we have to do is we have to subtract to get the number of athletes that play basketball and football. So we take this 85 and we subtract it with 53. And so we have 85 minus 53, and that gives us 32. These would be the number of, athletes that play both, right? That play both basketball and football. So this would be the intersection, all right? So the intersection would be 32, right? That would be the number of students that play both basketball and football. And how did we get that? Well, we took 85, right? And we subtracted with 53 and we get 32. That is going to be the intersection. Now that we have the intersection, we could figure out what is B only and F only. So what is the number of athletes that play basketball only? Well, we know that 45 said that they play basketball, but that 45 accounts for the whole set, right? But we just want to know number of athletes that play basketball only. So basketball only, we have to take that 45 and subtract it with the intersection, the number of students that play both basketball and football. So we want to subtract it with the intersection. So 45 minus 32 is going to be 13. That means 13 play basketball only. They don't play basketball and football. They just play basketball only. Now we need to find football only. And we know that 40 play football. So the number of athletes that play football only is going to be 40 minus 32. And 40 minus 32 is definitely 8. And so let's put all these numbers in. We know that 27 play neither sport. We know that 32 play both basketball and football. We know that 13 play basketball only, and we know that 8 play football only. And it makes sense because if we add 13 and 32, we should get what? What should we get when we add 13 and 32? That would be the number of people who play basketball, which is going to be 45. And if we add 32 and 8, we get 40, and 40 play football. And so our diagram is definitely correct. Now it says, using your Venn diagram, write down the number of students that play both sports. So the number of students that play both sports is going to be 32 students, because there are 32 students in the intersection, right? Next, using your Venn diagram, write down the number of students that play only one of these sports. So only one. So in order for us to get that, it'll be 13 because 13 play basketball only, right? And it'll be 8 because eight students play football only. So we add 13 and 8. 13 plus 8 is definitely 21. So the number of students that play only one of these sports is 21 students. Next, we want to use our Venn diagram to write down the number of students that do not play basketball, that just don't play basketball. So that means that if they don't play basketball, right, that means that they play football only, or they do not play basketball nor football. And so in order for us to get our answer here, we have to basically eliminate, right? We have to basically eliminate basketball. So this whole set, we can't include any of these, right? And so all we left with is just 8 and 27. And so the number of students that do not play basketball is going to be 8 plus 27, and 8 plus 27 is 35. So there's 35 students that do not play basketball. And that's the answer to this question.